Assalamu alaikum. Hope you are all fine. In this video, you will learn the basics of electrostatics. Electrostatics is the first chapter in 12th physics. What is electrostatics? Electrostatics is the branch of electricity which deals with the study of charges at rest. According to Benjamin Franklin, there are two types of charges. One is positive charge and one is negative charge. Now, what is this charge? Charge is nothing but the innate property of any object. It's the most fundamental thing. Innate property of an object. This is called as a charge. Around 2000 years ago, Greeks noticed that when amber rubbed with animal fur, the amber starts attracting tiny materials like dust particles or small leaves. This attractive property of amber, it was found that they thought that amber is the only thing which have this property. But later it was found that not only amber, but there are many materials on rubbing with another object attains this property of attraction. Let's see, in adult physics book, they have given one experiment in which it is shown that when a glass rod, this is the glass rod, when a glass rod rubbed with silk cloth, it attains a positive charge. The glass rod attains a positive charge on rubbing with silk cloth. When this glass rod is brought near another glass rod, which also attains positive charge on rubbing with silk cloth, they avoid each other. This process of avoiding of these two glass rods from each other is known as repulsion. So there is repulsion between these two glass rods having same charge. The similar way, when a rubber rod, this rubber rod, or it can also be called as ebonite. Ebonite is hard rubber. Hard rubber is referred as ebonite. We have one ebonite rod. When ebonite rod is rubbed with fur or silk, it attains a negative charge. One such ebonite rod is brought near to another ebonite rod carrying the same charge, that is negative charge, which is obtained by this ebonite rod by rubbing it with fur or a silk cloth. They also found avoiding each other. They also repel each other. This shows that same charges repel each other. When you bring positive charge near positive charge, they repel. In a similar way, when negative charge is brought near negative charge, they also repel each other. So this is the first property of a charge. The next thing, when the glass rod, see, whatever a glass rod, which is suspended with the help of a thread. Now, after rubbing this with silk cloth, it has got a positive charge. When it is brought near an ebonite rod carrying negative charge, it is found that glass rod gets attracted towards ebonite rod. So they come close to each other. So opposite charges found to be attracting each other. They attract. So there is attraction between opposite charges. This is the another property of charge. I will demonstrate the basic properties of charges with the help of materials easily available at home. For this, I take one bottle. I place a pencil on this bottle. Then one straw and a tissue paper. I rub the straw with the tissue paper few times. Then I bring the straw near to the pencil. You can see when the straw is brought near pencil, the straw attracts the pencil this manner. Though I haven't touched the pencil, but the force of attraction is seen between the straw and the pencil. Now replace the pencil with a wooden stick, and I'll find out whether the same thing happens with this or not. As the size of this stick is little large, I'll rub the straw for some more time. Now I bring this near to the stick. As you can see, even the stick is getting attracted by the straw. So there is some force present between the straw and this stick. Let's find out what is that. We are going to discuss about that one here. When the straw is rubbed with tissue paper, the transfer of electrons takes place from the tissue paper to the straw. This makes the straw to become negatively charged, and the loss of electrons in the tissue paper makes it to become positively charged. So, as said by Benjamin Franklin, there are two types of charges. This is how one can easily demonstrate this experiment with the help of easily available materials at home. Now I will demonstrate the repulsive property of charges. For this, I take two straws. I rub the first straw with the tissue paper. Then I place it on the bottle in this manner. Then I do the same thing to another straw as well. I rub this straw. Now I bring the straw near to the straw placed on the bottle. See what happened? You can see the straw placed on the bottle avoids the straw I am holding in my hand. This shows that they repulse each other. When I rub the straw with the tissue paper, it attains a negative charge. Both the straws have negative charge. So they avoid. It concludes that same charges repel. Now let's discuss what are the inferences we get from the observation. This experiment shows that there are two types of charges. One is positive charge, another is negative charge. Same charges, same or like charges repel. This is the first thing we observe here. That means when the positive charge is brought near positive charge, they repel each other. In the similar way, when negative charge is brought near negative charge, they also repel. Unlike the second inference that we get from the experiment is unlike charges, unlike or different charges, when brought to close, they attract. Suppose when positive charge is brought near negative charge, they attract each other. This is the second property of charges. Next, there are few more properties of charges are there. We will see them one by one. which at the end of this video I'll tell you what is amber. Amber and what is the fur. How do they look like? I will try to explain that one. Next property of charges is that it's called as conservation of charges. It says that charges can neither be created nor be destroyed. Charges can neither be created nor be destroyed, but they can be transferred from one object to another. This is the next property of a charge. This concludes that the number of charges present in the universe is fixed. It's constant. It is not going to increase, as well it is not going to decrease. Next is the quantization of charges. It says that charge present on any object is the integral multiple of fundamental charge E. Suppose if I have an object A and I say that the charge of this object is a Q, then Q will be written as an integral multiple of E, where N is an integer. N is integer. Integer means some number. This may be 0, plus 1, minus 1, or plus 2, minus 2, anything. And E is the fundamental charge. Fundamental charge of basic charge. So this shows that charge on any object is given as the integral multiple of E. The charge of electron is minus E. Charge of proton is given as a plus E. And according to Millikan's oil drop experiment, the value of E is given as 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 Coulomb. Here C stands for Coulomb, which is the unit of charge. So these are all the basic properties of charges. Now I will explain you how the objects become negatively charged or positively charged. What is the reason behind it? We are aware of the fact that almost everything in the nature are made of atoms. Atoms are a building block of almost everything. Building block. Building block of almost everything in the nature. So how this atom look like? There are many theories given about atoms. In all of them, the points that I am going to give now are common. An atom is said to have a nucleus, a positively charged nucleus, and electrons revolving around them. Electrons revolving around them. Here, the nucleus, which is the core of an atom, possesses a positive charge. This comprises of protons with positive charge and neutrons which have no charge, electrically neutral. The electrons carry negative charge. and they revolve around the nucleus in orbits in anti-clockwise direction according to Bohr's atomic model. So here, the number of electrons present in an atom is equal to the number of protons present in the nucleus of that atom. This equality, number of electrons, is equal to number of protons. This equality in the number of electrons and protons makes the atom to stay neutral. That's the reason why the atoms are neutral. Atoms are neutral. They possess neither positive charge nor negative charge. They are completely neutral. Now, in some cases, when we rub one object with another object, as I have shown in the experiment, what happens? The transfer of electrons takes place from one object to another. Suppose I take one object. The object consists of large number of atoms. When it is rubbed with another object, in that case, suppose the first object loses electrons. When it loses electron, number of electrons in the resultant atom decreases. Okay? There's an atom, it has lost electron. So the number of electrons in that atom has reduced. Now, when the electron has reduced, the negative charge will go down and the positive charge will increase. So the atom becomes positively charged. One such positively charged atom is called as ion. We call it as positive ion. Positive ion. Next case, when an atom gains the electron lost by the first atom. After gaining electron, the atom becomes negatively charged due to increase in the negative charge. One such atom with negative charge is referred as negative ion. We call it as negative ion. There is an alternate name given to positive ion and then negative ion. Here, positive ion is called as cation and negative ion is called as anion. See, the names are just completely opposite to the types of electrodes. In electrodes, we have cathode and anode. Cathode stands for negative electrode, whereas anode stands for positive electrode. See, the cations move towards the negative electrode, so they are named after cathode as cation. Negative ions move towards the anode, so they are named as anion. I hope you have understood why the ions, positive ions and the negative ions are named this way. I said I will tell you what is amber and animal fur. Let me tell you. Amber is something but fossilized resin. Resin means glue-like thing that comes from the trunk of certain trees. When it gets older, it turns into amber. And animal fur, animal skin with the hair present on them is referred as animal fur. And one more thing, we have a term called as charged. I have used that many times. Charged. Charged means when an object attains charge by rubbing or something, then it is said as charged object. The process of charging an object through rubbing is referred as triboelectric charging. And when an object attains charge, then we say that the object is charged. I hope this video is useful. Thanks for watching.